Meta is adopting a new age verification app. Will this change the way we check for age across the world? Will other companies follow their lead? Hello and welcome to another KuLAB. My name is Ku. This is our laboratory for learning. Thank you for joining me for another business news breakdown. Today we're going to take a look at an article about age verification and the new app that Meta has chosen to use all across its platforms: Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. See if this new app is something that will be user-friendly and perhaps can be used in a lot of other businesses and a lot of other products. Okay, so let's get started with our next KuLAB. As always, I like to give attribution to our authors. So today we're going to be looking at an article from Tim Bradshaw. Meta adopts new age check system to meet global child safety laws. Meta is, of course, the parent company of applications like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. It's the Mark Zuckerberg company, if you will. So this is a new age check system so they can comply with global child safety laws. So different countries around the world have different child safety laws, and if you're operating in that country, you have to abide by the law. So is there one app that can service many different countries at one time? Let's take a look. Meta is adopting a new age checking system that promises to streamline how the social media group and its billions of users adapt to the proliferation of new child protection regulations around the world. So the word proliferation here means a lot of things happening at once, or a large number of things happening all together. What this means is there are many regulations. So lots of different countries are writing new laws or implementing new laws that protect child safety. And a lot of these have to do with age verification, making sure when a child is the age that they say they are. Currently, there isn't really a lot of good ways to check whether or not someone is the age that they type into the browser. So let's see. The parent of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp is working with Singapore-based company KuLAB to integrate a startup's AgeKey technology into its app, with plans to roll it out across multiple countries next year. Meta's move marks a key step for the internet sector towards agreeing a single interoperable standard for age verification, at a time when the UK, Australia, and several US and EU states are introducing or considering new regulations to curtail teenagers' access to adult or harmful content. Okay, let's take a look at the vocabulary in this paragraph. So a sector is a group of companies. Sector is basically an industry or a category of companies. In this case is the internet sector. So all the companies that have to do with handling things on the internet, browsers, Facebook, Microsoft, those types of companies. Interoperable. So interoperable is a word that means works or operates with many different products at the same time without having to change it. So this product can work with Facebook, this product can work with WhatsApp, maybe this product can work with Google, maybe this product can work with TikTok. Interoperable standard is a standard that everyone can apply and it doesn't change across different apps. Introducing or considering new regulations to curtail. So curtail means to stop or halt or slow it down considerably. So in this case, they want to stop teenagers' access to adult content. Okay, Meta's global head of safety said AgeKey wants a much more user-friendly option than the age checks used today. The system allows users to verify their age once and then reuse the same credentials across a range of compatible apps. So what this is saying is they don't want it to be as difficult as some countries or some areas. In some places around the world right now, you have to send in your government ID, you have to photocopy or fax an ID, you have to send it to a central agency, they have to verify your birth certificate. There's a lot of work being done, especially in the European Union, to check your age or verify your age. To verify means to check, make sure it is correct. There needs to be a very easy way to do it, but it also needs to be accurate. If you can just tell it your name, I'm looking at you, Steam, then age verification means nothing. So we need some sort of user-friendly app that works across multiple compatible apps. In this case, reuse the same credentials. Credentials are the documents or information you use to verify. So whether that be a birth certificate, sometimes in the United States it's a social security card. Different countries have different credentials, but something that verifies how old you are. Those credentials need to be checked so your age can be verified. Around the world, different countries have different age assurance systems that they want companies like ours to utilize. Right now, the market itself has a lot of different variations, and so what we are really trying to do is take a comprehensive approach. So in this paragraph, age assurances. Assurances are a way to be sure about something. It means this is verified, this is correct. Now, there are different ways to assure that. Like I was talking about sending in a birth certificate, copying a passport, sending in a driver's license, a social security number, something like that, that assures an agency that you are how old you say you are. Comprehensive approach. Comprehensive means everything is included. So all the steps, all the process. Comprehensive means everything is accounted for, everything is included. In this case, a comprehensive approach means we've thought about everything. So we've thought about how to verify it, we've thought about ease of use, we've thought of making sure it's accurate. So all of these approaches, all of these things have been taken into consideration. Fragmentation between the laws and methodologies surrounding age verification poses a challenge not just for the internet companies with billions of users, such as Meta, Google, and TikTok, but also smaller startups who are often caught by the same requirements but lack their larger rivals' resources. Fragmentation here means a piece of something. So a fragment is a part of a whole, a piece of a whole. And in this case, though, the whole system is fragmented. So there's different laws in some countries, different laws in other countries. If you're a part of one country, maybe the law is not as strict as in another country. So if an app is verifying, an age in Cambodia versus Germany, right? The laws are not really the same. So there's this fragmentation around age verification. So what it does is it costs a lot of resources to keep up with all of those differences. And while we might think, okay, the money is worth it, small businesses are at a very big disadvantage to companies that have a lot of money. So it's very hard to start a new business because all of this extra administrative work, the extra work to check everyone's age, is sometimes too much for small companies to bear. AgeKey works using the same standards-based technology as passkeys, which use a smartphone's built-in face or fingerprint recognition to provide an alternative to passwords to log into apps. Passkeys are supported by every major PC and smartphone operating system and web browser. So what this is saying is this type of technology, this new AgeKey technology, uses similar things that your PC might or your smartphone might, like Face ID or fingerprint ID. We already use those around the world, so customers and users are familiar with that type of technology. If we could use that type of technology to verify the age, that would be much easier and very user-friendly. So standards-based technology here, standards-based means it's standardized for everything. So every app, every product would use the same sort of standard. So if it's a fingerprint ID, everything would work across the board in a similar fashion. So not a lot of different apps, not stuff that doesn't work, maybe something you can't trust, but everything is based upon a standard, and that standard would be used across multiple apps. The company argues that AgeKey preserves user privacy because it cannot be used to track an individual between various apps and only reveals to the app or website making a query whether the user meets the required age criteria and how that was verified. It does not disclose the user's exact age, birth date, or other personally identifiable information to the app. So in this case, preserves means to keep. So it keeps the user's privacy because it's actually not sending the information. It's not saying, hey, Ku is a certain age. It's basically saying this user meets the age verification benchmark. It will just say this person meets the age verification and AgeKey has verified it. So no information is being transferred, nothing like that, only a yes meets age verification, yes verified. In that case, it will be very difficult for private information to go between apps or apps to have access to that private information. Corbett linked AgeKey to how a consortium of banks created the Visa payment systems to facilitate transactions between merchants and banks. He hopes to convince other big tech groups to adopt the technology, as well as age verification providers that in some ways compete with other elements of KID's business, such as Yotai, Jumio, and Persona. I think all of the participants within the internet ecosystem have a lot to gain by not punishing the user who is just trying to navigate the internet. This person is saying that AgeKey works similarly or in a similar fashion to things like Visa or credit cards. In this sentence, a consortium of banks. Consortium is a big, various group. So a large group of banks, usually the largest of the banks. So an overwhelming number of banks created the Visa system. That's why you can pay with your Visa card all over the world, is because all of the banks agreed, okay, we will process this card like this. We will process the Visa card in a similar fashion. So no matter what bank you are, no matter where your money is, you can use your Visa card. So hopefully the Age ID or the AgeKey would work in a similar way. No matter where your age information is stored, all the apps on the internet will just check to make sure no information is transferred and your age is verified. All right, thanks for reading with us, joining for a business news breakdown. An interesting article about age verification, something that everyone watching this video will probably have to deal with in the coming future. What's most important to you? Write down in the comments. Is privacy most important? Is being identified on the internet important? Is making sure children don't get access to adult content the most important thing? So age verification is going to be a huge topic in the coming years regarding how businesses work, how they are able to survive on the internet. So we might see lots of articles about this idea in the coming months, in the coming years. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And I will see you next time in our next KuLAB.